Hey, how's it going, everyone? It's Freddie. Just some more beats on the MPC One. I finally got around to downloading Kit Maker for my computer, and what it essentially does is it converts machine expansions, like machine drum kits, into, for me, it converted them into Akai or MPC expansions, as well as I converted it into Ableton Move expansion, so I could put on my Ableton Move too. So these are all kind of like sounds from various machine expansions or native instrument expansions. And I just made a couple beats last night, so we'll just play them out, I guess. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I mean, last night I was just going through a bunch of like the expansion kits and just kind of like messing around. What I like to do sometimes is just mess around with the factory installed kits, whether it's like the MPC or like Machine or even the Ableton Move. Sometimes I just like to mess around with it. I find it's kind of like an exercise into creating something a little different. And this next track is kind of like one of those things. I was just kind of like messing around with some factory kits. And what's cool about some of these kits is they're actually made by like big producers. So like I really like using like their drums or, like their melodical one-shots or whatever it is. And then it kind of gets me into kind of creating something a little bit different from what I usually do, even if I'm not going to release it or, like really put it out there. It's just kind of like, I guess an exercise of like how to arrange drums a little bit differently or, like kind of working with different samples and stuff like that. But yeah, like if I keep on using the same drums or the same stuff, all my stuff is going to sound exactly the same, So it's good to like once in a while get away from that and just kind of make something just for fun, sometimes. It's just like kind of one of those tracks where I'm just kind of like messing around. It's not like anything like concrete. It's just mainly just to try some new stuff. But yeah, see the drums. The drums are a little bit different usually than what I make. And what I like to do is, you know, like take bits and pieces from different kits. I like the snare from one kit, I like the kick from another one, I like the hats from some other kit, you know, just kind of group them all together. And you can just play piano over it or something like that. Or like a lead or something. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's just me like just messing around. I did order a the tilt screen conversion like adapter for from MPC stuff to make this more of a tilt screen, and I ordered a skin as well, like a lighter skin, so it looks more like the retro one. Only because I use this sometimes in like dimly lit areas, and I can't see any of the labels on the actual unit, like, you know, like pad mix or pad mute. I mean, I should probably memorize where things are, but like you can't see them at all. So, and you know, like sometimes I don't want to like turn the light on like for it's like where it's like full blast or something like that. But yeah, and it's weird. Like I know you can just get like a tilt stand for this and just kind of like have it propped up like that. But me personally, and this goes with a lot of my other like samplers that are just kind of flat, is I like playing on the pads when they're like flat on the table, but I like the screen to be like tilted a little bit. I don't know. It's just like a personal preference. I feel like I'm more comfortable when like the pads are flat. I don't really like it when they're kind of like elevated a little bit or, you know, like angled. I don't like playing them like that. I like them where it's just like flat on the table. But I think the tilt screen conversion thing is going to be like a little bit helpful for me, because I feel like all the tables that I put the MPC One on, they're like a lot higher. So I'm like always looking over to the screen. I can't really like see it like this way. It's weird. I don't know. It's like this weird personal preference thing. But anyway, yeah, that's it. Thanks guys. Peace.